Hi, it's Will, and today we are going to take a look at how to sync a record type with a source that has more than 1,000 items. So you might know that when you sync a record type, you have a limit of 1,000 items that you can sync in one batch. So here we're going to take a look at how we can do this with more than 1,000 items, because that's going to be probably something that you encounter a lot in your work with Appian. So here's this guide. This guide will be available in the description. I'll be following this along. Before we start, if you haven't watched this video, we really recommend that you actually watch it, because it covers the basics of the data sync and a lot of things that I'm not going to go into too much today. So just make sure that you watch it, and then you can come back to this. This video is kind of like a follow-up to this. Cool. So let's talk about the use case. Now, the use case here is, we're using a use case that allows us to have a public API that we don't need to pay anything to get data from. So this is from the NHTSA, which is a US agency basically in charge of road safety and approving new vehicles. And so they approve vehicles from manufacturers. So you take, for example, I don't know, Ford, who has a new car. They're going to go to the NHTSA to say, here's our car, here are the different models of our car. And so basically then, all the vehicles are identified through a VIN, a vehicle identification number. And so essentially this NHTSA is provided the information about how the VIN works, right? So if you take a look at an example VIN here, we get some data here, but basically the data, which is interesting, is some of the letters and numbers specify what the model of the car is. If you have like a truck or something like this. And so this is what they need to send. So basically what we have access to is the API to those documents that are sent from the manufacturer to an HTSA. Honestly, this is mostly just an excuse for us to have a public API to use to be able to sync more than 1,000 rows of data. But it's a good thing to kind of know what the context is and how in real life there are actual APIs that can be used to leverage and get data, and that's public data, so I think that's pretty cool. So the objective for us here is to have access to those parts, it's called parts, those documents that are used via a record sync, right? So this is implementing Data Fabric in its purest form, and the problem is that there are more than 1,000 parts, so the way the API is structured is it's paginated. So you get results in pages. Page 1 is going to get you the results from 1 to 1,000, page 2 from 1001 to 2000, you get the point. Cool, so let's kind of cover the API and what it is. So I've put the link here to the API. You can click on this here. I'm going to take a look at the API here. So this is, a interestingly looking page, but what is interesting is all the different methods that are provided by NHTSA. So we get, for example, decode VIN, vehicle identification number. We can have get all makes. And the one that is interesting is get parts here, right? So if we take a look at the more information here, we can see that there is a couple of different inputs that you can provide. And some of the inputs are optional, some are not. So for example, the type here that we need to provide is the number. So we don't really know what this is. It doesn't really matter. We're going to provide this 565, which is just the type of documents. Honestly, this is not relevant, but we have to provide it because otherwise the API doesn't work. And then there's a lot of different things that are optional here. And really, we're not going to care about the dates or the manufacturer. We just want to get everything. What is interesting for us is the formats and the page. So what we're going to do is actually get a JSON. So it can provide data from an XML, in CSV, or JSON. And Appian works best through JSON. So we're going to want to get the results from JSON. And then the page here is the number. So this is what we're going to be iterating through, right? So Appian, essentially what we'll do is call page by page the API, right? So if I click on this, just an example here, just to show you what this gives, is a bunch of information in JSON, which is not really, it's readable, but it's not really relevant to us here. But what we're going to get is, imagine a list of 1,000 results like this that we're going to sync through and get results from. Cool. All right, so let's go back into the little guide here. And so what we're going to want to do is basically build a record type that provides the information about, and I guess it's not wanting to load here, that provides the information, that displays the information that we've just seen here. So if you can see here, this is something that we're going to be building together, is a list of the parts. And so, granted, the record type could use some, cosmetic enhancements, but right away we can actually see that there is data that's been captured and synced. So we're going to sync the data from this API into our data server in Appian, and then we're going to be able to display it into a record type. All right, so let's get into it. Let's go into the implementation steps, and we're going to start with creating the connected system. Now, I'm going to start with the basics that I already have an application. This is a brand new application, and I use the auto create of the groups and folders. That saves a bit of time. We're going to be able to go directly into new connected system, because that's going to be our basic for our vehicle API. And so we're going to use just an HTTP. There's no API key here, so that's pretty cool because it's just a public API. So that's going to save us a bit of time in terms of authentication. So this is going to be the vehicle API, a public API from the NHTSA. And the base URL, we're going to go into the documentation, and we're basically going to be able to see, I think at the top here, we're going to have, let's see, just have to find, maybe I'll put it here, the API. There we go. So that's going to be our base URL for our API. And actually we're going to be even adding on the /vehicles, because that's going to be the API that we're going to be using. So this is going to be this one here. And then we're going to be able to actually add an endpoint, and our endpoint will be, if we look at the API here, it's going to be get parts, right? So it's all the methods here. It's the vehicles is the kind of base URL, and then we're going to put the get parts, get all makes, etc. Cool. So authentication is none because there is no authentication. It's a public API. So I'm going to go ahead and say use in new integration. And so this, we're just going to use the basic security here. And this is going to be get parts by page. So given a page number, because that's what we're going to be able to do, returns a list of 1,000 or a list of parts from the API. So that's going to be our integration that's going to be used in our record type here. So I'm going to create this one. And so basically what I'm going to do is make sure that I'm able to look at what the relative path should be. And I can take some inspiration from what this is showing here. Now there is a lot of stuff here that we don't really need to worry about. We're going to need to put type 565 because that's mandatory. We have to provide it. We're going to ignore any dates, so that's not needed. We're going to use format equals JSON, and then the page is going to be the one that changes because we're going to be iterating through the batches, right? So essentially this relative path is going to look something like this, get parts, because that corresponds to this part here. And then we're going to be able to do a question mark and provide all the different parameters. So the first parameter is type 565. Again, this is not really, we have to provide it, so we're going to be providing this. Then formats, so make sure that you don't do any typo like I'm doing. And then page equals 1. So for now, we're going to be making this static just to make sure that we are getting results from this API, because this is what we'll want to have iterate through and increase and increment. So testing the request here, let me zoom out a bit. I can see that I'm getting, first of all, a successful integration, which is cool. And then what I can see is there is some JSON formats. So I've got this disclaimer at the top here that this says the result is a JSON response. So I'm going to say, yes, convert JSON to an Appian value, which will be easier for us to use in Appian. So I'm going to test again. And here I can see that I've got 1,000 results. And the output is too large to display. But if I expand it, I can see all the different parts. So I can see that data is coming in. And I can actually see if I change manually here the number of the page, I can actually change the results here, and the results change. So this is what we want to have kind of iterate through, because a sync expression only takes in 1,000 results at most. So this is perfect for us. We're going to be using that to leverage the page incrementation. So let's make this a dynamic item, and we're going to be able to create in our little integration a rule input, which we'll call page number, and that will be a number integer. All right, save the changes. Cool. And so then what I need to do is modify this relative path by clicking in this edit as expression and basically say that this number 1 is no longer static. It's going to be, I'm going to append it with RI-bang page number. Okay, and now if I test this, let's say I put value 3, I test the request, I'm going to get some results here, and the results different from page 1 and 2. So at this stage, our integration is done. Cool, so I'm going to save the changes here. I'm going to go into my guide and go into my implementation. So we've created the connected system, that's done, created the integration rule, that's done. Now we're going to go into create the record type, and you'll see that's going to be super easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and go click new record type in my application. That's going to be part, list of all parts coming from the NHTSA API create. Cool, so I'm going to use the default security here, rolling with the defaults, that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and say, tell us about your data. I'm going to start setting up the web service because I'm going to be using a web service here in this case. Click on next. And then I'm going to use sync because that's what I want to do. It could be possible to not use sync, but in this case, we want to be able to use sync. And that also allows you to have all the power of the data fabric, relating record types, which is super awesome. So here, I want to create the record data source. The record data source is the one that consumes the integration and that does some manipulation to provide the results to the record type. So you've got the integration rule, which kind of is a bit raw. You've got the record type, and the record data source is doing the, I would say, interface between them. So I'm going to create a record data source, and it asks me, hey, do you have an integration? Like, yes, I have an existing integration. So I'm going to call my existing integration get parts by page. I'm going to click next. This is providing me the create expression rule, which is perfect. I'm going to use the same name, so it's creating the expression rule for me, which we might need to modify a bit, but that's okay. And so here I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to say, yes, I do want to syncing in batches, because again, if we don't do this, then we're not able to actually query, return, more than 1,000 records. So we're going to be able to do this and say, I'm going to query the data in batches of 1,000 records. And we could do this in lower numbers, but the maximum is 1,000. So create. Now, if I look at this, this is telling me, hey, the following objects are ready to be modified. That's perfect. I can click OK and see what this provides me with. So if I click OK, and the way it is implemented now, I'm seeing that the data is returned like this. So it's results returned successfully, counts 1,000. So it doesn't seem like the record data source is consuming the integration rule the right way. That's perfect. I'm going to go into the record data source. I'm going to open it and actually modify this. So this is the expression rule that has been created by Appian. So batch number is equal to the page number. Batch number is Appian terminology. The page number is the NHTSA API terminology. But if I test it out with the batch number, I can see that this is not working. Well, it's working, but I'm getting the results. But the thing is that it's because the page number is not being iterated through. So you can see here, this is calling the integration, but the page number is null because it needs to basically use the batch number. So I'm going to say RI-bang batch number, and that way that will iterate through. So if I do batch number 1, I'm getting back a results, but the problem is that I can see that the result that is being given is a dictionary with some metadata, and then the results are one level below. So what I need to do is change this expression here. And what this expression does is first check if the integration response is a success. If not, then there's some error handling, but for us, it's going to be successful, we're going to hope. So basically, this is what it is here, is the integration response, that result, that body, then I need to basically index into. So the way I'm going to do it is wrap this around an index function and essentially call this results. And then if it doesn't index into, then I can do an empty list. Now, how do I know that this is results here? It's pretty simple. I can look at what is being provided here, and this is results. This is the name of the property within that dictionary. So I've got a couple of different items here, so I want to index in results. All right, so now let me test it out. Test rule here. I'm getting some results, and now I'm getting a list of dictionary, which is perfect because that's going to be our list of records. And if I test it out with batch number 10, that's going to also work. And I think if I go to 100, I don't think there is any more. So now Appian, what will Appian do is iterate through and actually see when there is no longer items, and then it will stop. So I'm going to save the changes on this expression rule, very important. And I'm going to go back into the record type. And now I can actually refresh this, refresh the data source and preview. And now I'm getting some data here. So that's perfect. I'm going to click next. I'm not going to change anything here. I could change the record fields, following the naming convention. For the sake of time, I'm not doing it here, but you could do it. I do have to select a primary key. And from what I've seen, the actual primary key is going to be something like the name. So this could be like, I think this ORG 22079, that would be probably the NHTSA API key, primary key. But you could be creating your own primary key on the side, but just it's good to have, you have to basically identify one. So I'm going to say the primary key is the name. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to save the changes, and now I'm going to go into the sync history and see live the syncing happening. So I can already see this is running, and I can have already 8,000 records in synced, and this is basically doing 1,000 items at a time. So this is going up, going up, going up, and I believe it's going to stop. There we go. 22,055 items. So now if I go into my record type and a record list, I'm going to see the data here. A couple of things we could do: change a bit of the record type, create an actual record view within it. And you could also start creating other relationships between the different APIs that are provided in the NHTSA. But that was the quick and easy guide on how to sync more than 1,000 items. Hope it was useful. If it was, make sure you subscribe because there will be more videos like this coming through. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.